All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pop the hood and take a look at the science of, well, you. We're diving into biochemistry, which is really just the incredible story of the tiny, tiny molecules that build our bodies, power our every thought, and pretty much make us who we are. I mean, seriously, forget skin and bones for a second. Have you ever really stopped to think about what you're made of on a deep chemical level? It turns out you're basically a walking, talking, thinking collection of amazing chemical reactions, and they're happening every single second. And the science that cracks this code is called biochemistry. Now, don't think of it like some dusty old textbook. It's more like the secret playbook for how life actually works. It's what introduces us to the star players, these molecules, and explains the wild chemical games they play to keep us all going. So, to wrap our heads around all this, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. We'll start with the basics, life's chemical code. Then we'll meet the 3 main players, carbs, proteins, and lipids. And finally, we'll see these biomolecules on the job, and you'll see why all of this really, really matters. Okay, first up, life's chemical code. This is where we meet the absolute stars of our biochemical show, the biomolecules. These are, quite literally, the organic molecules that make up every single living cell. So there are 4 main types of these guys. You've got your carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and then nucleic acids, like DNA. Now, they're all absolutely crucial. But for today, we're going to focus on the big 3, the ones you interact with every single day through your food: carbs, proteins, and lipids. Let's kick things off with carbs, your body's go-to fuel source. The best way to think about carbohydrates is like high-octane gasoline for your cells. They're the specialists in quick, easy-to-access energy. So what are they actually made of? Well, at their core, carbs are built from just 3 elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The name carbohydrate literally gives it away, right? It's just carbon attached to water molecules. Super simple when you think about it. But not all carbs are the same. They build up in complexity. You start with the little guys, monosaccharides. Those are single sugar units, like glucose. Stick 2 of those together and you get a disaccharide, like the lactose in milk. Keep linking them up, and you build these huge polysaccharides, like starch, which are just long, winding chains of simple sugars. And just how much energy are we talking about? About 4 calories for every single gram. That's a really key number to remember, and we'll see how it compares to our other molecules in a bit. This is the immediate, ready-to-burn fuel for your muscles and all your tissues. And here's the fact that is just crucial to understand about carbs. While a lot of your organs can be pretty flexible with their fuel sources, your brain is a total diva. It runs almost exclusively on one thing: glucose. That brain fog you get when you're super hungry, that's your brain literally screaming for its one and only source of fuel. Okay, so if carbs are the fuel, what exactly is the body building with all that energy? Well, that brings us to our next section: proteins, the master builders. These are the absolute workhorses of your body. They're the bricks, they're the mortar, and they're the construction crew, all rolled into one. So what is a protein exactly? Picture a really long, intricate necklace made of different kinds of beads. A protein is just like that. It's a giant molecule made up of smaller beads called amino acids, all linked together in a very specific order. Now, these little amino acid beads come in 2 main flavors. You've got your essential amino acids, which are the ones your body can't make itself. You have to get them from your food. Then there are the non-essential ones, which your body can just whip up on its own. And this is exactly why a varied diet is so critical. It's how you make sure you collect all the essential building blocks you need to function. And the range of jobs that proteins do, it's just staggering. I mean, they're the scaffolding of your body, like the collagen that keeps your skin firm. They're the factory workers, like enzymes that make reactions happen millions of times faster. They're delivery trucks, they're messengers, they're even your personal bodyguards in the form of antibodies. They are the ultimate multitaskers for sure. All right, on to our 3rd star molecule, lipids. And trust me, these are so much more than just fat. The best way to think about lipids is as your body's high-capacity power bank and its protective insulation. What makes a lipid isn't some strict chemical formula, but its personality, its physical properties. And the main thing you need to know is this: lipids and water do not mix. They are insoluble. It's why oil and water separate. And it's this exact property that allows them to form cell membranes and all sorts of other crucial structures. So remember how we said carbs pack about 4 calories per gram? Well, check this out. Lipids pack a whopping 9.3 kilocalories per gram. That's more than double. It's an incredibly efficient way for our bodies to store energy for the long haul. You've probably heard about saturated and unsaturated fats, right? Well, the chemical difference is actually tiny. It's all about something called double bonds. But look at the effect this has on their shape. Saturated fats are straight, so they can pack together really tightly. Think butter. But unsaturated fats have this kink in them, so they can't stack up neatly. That's why they're often liquid, like olive oil. That one tiny kink changes everything.
And all this talk of lipids brings us to a really common question, and a topic that can be pretty confusing. What is the deal with good versus bad cholesterol?
Okay, so cholesterol can't just float around in your blood by itself. It needs a ride. And it hitches that ride in these little packages called lipoproteins. Think of LDL, the bad cholesterol, as a really sloppy delivery driver who just drops packages off in your arteries, clogging everything up. HDL, the good cholesterol, is like the cleanup crew. It comes along, picks up all the excess cholesterol, and hauls it away, keeping your arteries nice and clear. So now that we've met our main characters, let's see them in action. In our final section, Biomolecules on the Job, we're going to answer that big question. Why does any of this matter? And we'll do that by seeing how doctors read your body's chemical story every single day. This is where all that chemistry translates directly to your health. When you go get a blood test, your doctor is basically reading a story being told by these very molecules. A blood sugar test, that's just checking your carb levels to look for signs of diabetes. A C-reactive protein, or CRP test, that's asking your proteins if there's any inflammation hiding somewhere. And a lipid profile, that's just checking in on your fats to see how your arteries are doing. Each one is a critical clue. So let's wrap this all up. These molecules, carbohydrates for fuel, proteins for building and working, and lipids for storage and structure, they aren't just abstract ideas in a chemistry class. They are the literal physical components inside our cells, and they are driving every single process that keeps us alive, right this very second. And that leaves us with one final thought to take with you. Every single choice you make, from the food you eat to how much you sleep, it influences these tiny molecules. They are constantly writing and rewriting a story inside of you. So the real question is, what story are your biomolecules telling?